That's the bad news. It's going to get worse because this is the investigation part. Later comes the arrest part. Your attorneys are familiar with that.
Hello everyone, it's Joel Davis with United Medical Transportation Providers Group. You are the broker.com and home care access. And I have the sneaky suspicion today's going to be a long video, so get your coffee, be prepared. Be prepared to watch and listen in shifts if necessary. I'm going to have a lot of good content. My peeps put a lot of good info in here for me, and I had to go through and extract some things, and I kind of moved them around because I included some emails with some client providers who, great dudes who keep me on retainer. Been working with them for a long time. Just been doing some phenomenal work together. Absolutely love it. Great dudes. And the reason why I give them a lot of credit and a lot of kudos is because they have faith and trust in me. And when I say that, it's key because we're going to go through a lot of, one of the key topics we're going to talk about today is brokers, specifically Modivcare, formerly known as Logisticrat, because they had to change their name because they had to rebrand because their brand sucks. I give kudos and credit to my client providers because it takes a lot. They have faith and trust in me, but what I do is I will draft much of the correspondence. I'm always telling people to stay off the phones. These brokers are not your friends. I know a lot of people, oh, Ralph really likes me. We got a great relationship. We understand each other. He don't care about you. So I draft a lot of this correspondence and they copy, paste, and send. And we go hard. We go hard. As long as we know we can go hard. I mean, you got to know where the points of leverage are. And it takes a lot of trust. And that's why I give all the credit in the world to my client providers. Because they're literally, I don't want to say handing over their business to me, but they have faith and trust that I know what I'm doing. And a couple of these guys I'm going to read to you here, some of these emails, are we've gone down this road. And we've gone hard. We go hard with the brokers. I love battling the brokers. Modivcare, again, I'm going to show you some stuff that's going to be a big eye-opener for you. So even if you're not working with Modivcare, formerly known as Logisticrat, because they had to change their name, because they had to rebrand, because their brand sucks. Even if you're not working with them, you're going to learn something today. So pay attention. Watch all the way through because I got good stuff all the way through. So kudos to my people because, again, you place a lot of trust in me, but the good news is I know what I'm doing and I know how to manipulate these situations with these brokers. Again, you don't always have points of leverage. Sometimes it takes time to get to where you have points of leverage, and then when you battle them, it's a process. It takes time. And yeah, I've been doing this forever. That's why I love it. So, but let me dive in here. This guy is awesome. Love this dude. Worked with him for a while. We were going back and forth trying to get him some more vehicles. He's sitting on a great, huge opportunity. Huge opportunity. He has a competitor about 20, 30 miles up the road who's going out of business. He's actually meeting with them tomorrow. We're trying to figure out some more particulars. Trying to purchase a bunch of his assets. Maybe bring on some of his employees. It's definitely going to leave a vacuum in the market, and we just want to suck up as much of that as we can. So this guy is in a great position. But we just battled hard with Modivcare, and they keep coming after him repeatedly, which means we got leverage. But again, kudos to him because he has faith and trust. I draft it. Boom, he copies, sends, and it's beautiful. And it's eye-opening for him and for other client providers because they literally witness everything I've been saying in all my newsletters, all my videos, all my online videos I've been saying all these years. They literally witness it firsthand of how this thing works. So this is one of many emails. He says, "Hey Joel, I wanted to say thank you for the recent video. It really put everything in perspective. It made me realize I wanted to obtain your services in the first place. I know that you have way more knowledge and experience in this business, and I trust your judgment. Again, kudos to you. Love you. I want to see if you're able to find me a vehicle, da 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 da." And he goes into the whole things that we're looking for a vehicle. He said, I know that if we purchase the counter line soon, we can purchase a third vehicle right after once we get things rolling. Thank you again. He has 4 ambulatory vehicles he was doing a specific contract with. Then we got him a wheelchair stretcher vehicle. Got him a second one, getting him a second one. But now, boom, he's in a position where he has to explode overnight. Thank you again for the recent video, and I hope you are taking it easy with the recent diagnosis of climate change. Yes, it's true for those of you who are new to this channel. I'm a 21-year-old Olympic athlete. Sadly, I was diagnosed with climate change. I was having serious problems with my menstrual cycle. My uterus kept cramping. We thought I was pregnant. Turns out I wasn't. Talked to Al Gore. That's where I was diagnosed with climate change, only to discover it came from Russia. Russia! So it's true. It's sad but true. We're trying to work through the diagnosis and the process to bring healing. How do you heal climate change? It's tough. It's tough. So doing a lot of breathing exercises, trying to take in less oxygen to hopefully emit less CO2. But we'll see. It's a process. He says, see at the top, boom, rich free. Amen to that. Let's see. So again, he says, forget the White Walkers and the brokers. They just do not care about us. Thanks again. Been doing huge work with him, battling back and forth with Modivcare. And they're after him. They're after him. And I want to take a second here because I did a quick research. Now, one thing I always say, obviously, a couple things. Number one, obviously I clown around all the time. So quick caveat, quick moment of clarity. And I tell people, look, I went to West Point. I majored in sarcasm. I minored in ebonics. It is what it is. I joke around a lot. But when it comes to business, I'm deadly serious. So obviously, I clown around in my videos and everything. You don't have that luxury. When you're dealing with facilities and you're trying to build your business, you got to play things straight. You can't be showing a bias either way or the other like I do. Me, I can because I don't care. And boom, rich free, I can. But again, when it comes to taking care of business, especially for my clients, deadly serious, we take care of business. So, but the other thing I always tell people is fact check everything I say or do. Fact check it all. Fact check everything. So anything I say about like these brokers, like I'm about to tell you, go look this up. This is common knowledge. It's easy. I knew most of this, but I just went to look it up right before making this video just to make sure I was on point and accurate with everything. You can do the same thing. So here's some details. I'm going to give you some details about Modivcare. Everyone thinks Modivcare, they're an EMT provider. No, they're not. Not only are they just technically just a broker, they are categorized as a technology company because of their software. They started out as a software company, I think it was like in the mid to late 80s or something like that. They've only been around for like 25, 30 years top, something like that. But they are Denver-based. So they're technically a Denver-based technology company. There's a reason why they always try to force you into their software platforms. I've said it before, I'm going to continue to say it again. All these brokers try to, A, get you into their platform. So, A, they can make more money off you. How do they make money off you? First and foremost, they could charge you. I forget the name off the top of my head because some of these different brokers, they got their own software platforms and they want to force you into it. And they'll charge you money for it. The problem is that when they lose that contract and someone else comes in, the business goes with them. So everything that you thought you had, you didn't. And it's a rude reality. It's a rude wake-up call that you don't have all that content info. It belongs to them, and your business, boom, shifts overnight. They make a change, you got to make a change. Second thing is, they make money off you because if they control the software, they can literally put eyes on target and literally see everything you're doing, where you're going, not just for them, but for any other work you're doing. So you can't play hardball and say, we're too busy, and they look in the system and say, oh, well, you're using our dispatching software system and you're not doing anything else. We know exactly what you're doing, so you're full of it. So they can control and manipulate you, which also allows them to say, that should have been a 5-mile trip and you charge us for 10. You should have gone this way, which would have been 5 miles, instead of going this way and charging us for 7, 8, 9, 10 miles. They're going to pickpocket you. They hold you hostage. I'm just telling you, you better be painfully careful. And then here's the problem. Some of you who work with multiple brokers, what you're supposed to dispatch, you're supposed to have your dispatchers use multiple software platforms. It's outrageous. It's crazy. So, Denver-based technology company, they did, Modivcare does $2 billion annually. $2 billion annually. They expected 10% growth. How much money did you do last year? How much money did you do last year? They did $2 billion with their expected 10% growth this year. How much did you do? They have 19,000 employees. How many you got? Publicly traded. Most of you guys knew that. Publicly traded. I'm going to show you something about that in a second. Publicly traded. Publicly traded with a cap rate $2.5 billion. $2.5 billion market cap. Market cap is just basically an indicator of the size and strength of the company. Typically, the higher the cap rate, the market cap, typically, it's more stable, bigger, more infrastructure, has longevity, less volatile. The lower the cap rate, you could argue it's more risky, more volatile, but you could also have a higher ROI. It all depends. So this is where, again, fact check everything I'm saying because it's all online. This is where I'd like the wheel, for me personally, because I like data, ratios, numbers, statistics. This is where the wheels on the bus kind of fall off for me. They have they brag they have 30 million members. That would be you, the transportation providers. They have 30 million members, but they perform 75 million rides per year. That makes no sense. So they have 30 million members, and they provide 75 million transports per year. So what's that mean? That every single year, each member averages what, 2.5 trips a year? It's irrelevant. It's nonsense. They claim that they manage 9% of the U.S. population. The vast majority of all their trips are Medicaid. They do a small percentage of Medicare Advantage. So they do a very small percentage of managed care Advantage. Obviously they want to boost that up, increase that percentage. Here's something. This is like a little caveat. That's a very interesting point. This is a very interesting data point. Did you know that the transportation? Here's why. So Modivcare is 4 times. They're the largest broker. MTM, I think, is still the second largest, but Modivcare is still 4 times larger than any other broker. 4 times larger. So that's why they're the bully on the block. They're a big tough guy. BTG, the big tough guy. Big tough guy on the block. So Modivcare is 4 times bigger than any other broker. Why do they love the transportation? Because transportation is an $8 billion market. The transportation for NEMT is an $8 billion market. So it stands to reason they're going all in. Here's what's crazy. So Modivcare long-term strategy is to also try to penetrate, and they've already started to in certain key markets, is to get into home care. Why? Transportation is an $8 billion market. Home care right now, watch this, is a $55 billion market, and it's anticipated to go to $100 billion. I'll say that again. Transportation is, for NEMT, is an $8 billion industry. The market they anticipate in the coming years will go to $10 billion. Home care industry is already at $55 billion, and it's anticipated to go to a $100 million industry. 100 billion, I'm sorry. Maybe I said million a couple times in there, but I meant billions. Billions with the B. B as in boy. I'm not sure we could say that anymore. That's too binary. We shouldn't say boy. We'll say person. So transportation is an $8 billion industry, anticipated to go to 10. Home care is already at $55 billion, anticipated to go to 100. So now you understand why Modivcare, they got their new CEO, I think he came in like 3 years ago. You can understand why they're going all in on trying to penetrate that home care industry, because it's just, well, it's already what, five and a half times bigger industry than NEMT. And you wonder. This is why I keep telling you guys, diversify. But what do I know? Here's what's cool. I'm going to put things in perspective for you. Okay, so here's Modivcare. Now here's what's interesting. Online, if you go to Modivcare, they say they're a 2.5 cap rate, 2.5 billion cap rate. Here it says 1.5, but let's say it's somewhere in the middle. Either way, they're doing their thing. Look at them. Their stock is at 106.88. Here's what's crazy about that. Some of you who do work for Modivcare, you don't make anything. At the end of the day, you make nothing. I've shared that in previous videos, a million videos, years and years worth of videos of how they sharecrop and browbeat you. Look at their stock. If anything, for those of you who are just basically sharecroppers for them, it'd be better you take your money and invest in their stock than actually performing the trips and dealing with all the human resource nonsense of hiring and firing and coordinating and logistics and maintenance and fuel. Screw all that. Just go buy their stock. They're at 106. Let's put things in perspective. Okay? You got stock, Modivcare stock is at 106.88. What's your stock at? Modivcare did $2 billion in sales last year. How much did you do? Okay. So their stock's at 106.88. Amazon is at 97.61. So Amazon is less. Now let's not get this thing twisted. Modivcare ain't no Amazon. Look at the difference in the cap. Look at the difference in the market cap. 1.5 billion versus $1 trillion. I mean, come on. Plus Amazon's already split a few times, so it's not even realistic. But regardless, you get my point. At the end of the day, pennies are pennies, nickels are nickels. If you're going to invest in a stock, I mean, look at some of this performance and look at what their stock price is. Look at Apple. Apple, 2.39 trillion. 2.39 trillion, but 151 bucks. I mean, you got Modivcare at 106, pushing 107. You got Apple at 151. You got Walmart at 140, just pennies below 144. Look, you got Modivcare at 1.51 billion market cap. You got Walmart at 387 billion. I mean, they're B. I almost said B is for boys, but we don't say that. But we're in the $1 billion club. I mean, they're doing their thing. So anyways, I share that just so you could have a sense of perspective and proportionality between, look at the different stock prices here. Technically, Modivcare's stock price is more than Amazon, although their market cap isn't even comparable. But doesn't matter. How much money is Modivcare making? How much are you making? So this is why when we're playing hardball with these cats, why we play hardball. This is why when I'm drafting all those correspondents and we're having to be very, 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 very strategic in how we play that game, it's for a reason. I mean, look at this. I mean, are you in this ballpark? They're making money. They ain't losing anything. They anticipate 10% growth each year. How much do you plan on growing next year? They've been around for 25, 30 years. And they've been around 25, 30 years. They're expanding into new markets. They got into, so they obviously they're chasing the transportation. They're trying to get in home care. They're trying to get into like food delivery for the same niche. They're catering to elderly, disabled, those with memory issues, psychological issues, things like that. But they're trying to leverage their existing transportation platform and caregivers to then parlay that into healthy food distribution, things like that. So they're being aggressive. Why aren't you? People complain, I don't want to hear about your home care nonsense. Okay. Transportation is an $8 billion market. Home care is already at $55 billion, going to 100. But okay. I don't want to hear about your broker business. Okay, no one wants to hear about a seven-figure business with a 25% margin. No one wants to hear. I agree. I totally agree. Totally, I get it. I get it. All right, but I want to continue here so you can keep learning. I want to continue on this same client provider. So that first email was from a couple weeks ago. So this email, he says, Joel, I wanted to tell you the great news. We did our first wheelchair ride out of blank. Obviously, I got to protect my people's stuff, all their key strategies, numbers, facts, figures, names, things like that. I got to protect my peeps. It is what it is. So I know some people get upset because they'll say, well, I don't understand why you're even putting stuff out there if you can't even say the names or the numbers. Look, it is what it is. It is what it is. I gotta protect my peep stuff. If I was working with you, I'd protect your stuff too, but it is what it is. So Joel, I wanted to tell you the great news. We did our first wheelchair ride out of blank. They called me on a whim and asked if I can do a ride. With no hesitation, I said yes. The blank department asked me afterwards, how far north am I able to go and how far west will I go? They asked if I am willing to go to blank. I explained to them that I am willing to go anywhere they need me, but I am only authorized to operate in blank, 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 and blank locations. Transportation requested to speak with DOT and asked me to give DOT their information so they can see how I can get the authority to transport in the areas they are needing. Secondly, after I transported the individual today from blank to the assisted living facility in blank location, I requested to speak with the transportation department at blank facility. I spoke with their transportation supervisor, Sandy Blank. Sandy said that they will really need my services because the only local wheelchair company in my area is blank. We're going to talk about this blank transportation company here in a minute, you'll see. Because they're going out of business. I have to fact check what she told me because I still could not believe what she just told me. Once I find out the information is true, I will definitely let you know. Sandy asked for my transportation rates and if I am signed up with blank. I let her know that I am waiting. I'm waiting on the authorization from blank, but I can transport privately, private pay and blank patients as well. I also told her that I am waiting to hear back from blank and I will bring her our rates of reimbursement tomorrow. Thank you for showing me the blueprint on how to approach each facility I come in contact with. I will give you an update on what happens next. Also, I reached out to blank and I requested their rates of reimbursement. Once I receive it, I will forward it to you immediately. Again, thank you. I really appreciate the advice you have given me. Everything is starting to fall in place and I am so excited and eager to get going. Boom, rich, free, see you at the top. Again, so this is another email. The first one I read to you came a couple weeks back, then this one. And again, this is why I love working with people like this. I mean, they're just appreciative. They're just appreciative. Like any, you always want to work with good people, man. These are just good people, man. Good, hardworking, salt of the earth people who are trying to live that American dream and sling that hash and make that cash, man. Love it. So again, the reason why I'm staying on point with a bunch of his emails because it tells a great story. So this is another email from him on, a couple days later or whatever it was. So there was a longer email. I'm just going to read a portion of this one. Again, I got to protect some of their stuff. He said, my wife called blank company, the one that's going out of business, on Friday, and they confirmed over the phone that they are closing down. And they're 22 vehicle fleet. They did not give a date of when, but they say as of right now, they will not be in business shortly. I know this is our time to position ourselves in the community because blank is the only wheelchair company in blank and blank counties. The closest company around is blank and they're in blank county. And I do not see them trying to expand into blank and blank counties. I know that we will need more wheelchair stretcher vehicles to support the need of transportation in our area. This is awesome. This is after we've battled back and forth over a period of time with Modivcare, and they cannot comprehend that we say no. They cannot comprehend why we literally told them we're not going to join your network. And they short circuit. No, why do they short circuit? Because they're 4 times bigger than any other broker. They have $2 billion in sales. They claim they have 30 million members in their network, and they are being told no. They are bullies on the block. They're publicly traded. Are you publicly traded? Did you do $2 billion in sales? You got 19,000 employees. Are you projected to grow 10% next year conservatively? So you can understand why they're bullies on the block and why they keep short circuiting. So this is after multiple. So I talk to this client provider regularly, but these are just a select few to kind of tell you this story, to give you this narration. But we kept telling Modivcare, no, we would give them if-then statements, if this, then that, if this, and that. No, okay, no, we're not going to do it. No, okay, we want no part of your network. And then in this email, he says, additionally, Modivcare called me on Friday and asked what type of software we were using. I told them that we were using Dispatching Made Easy, and that was the end of the conversation. Modivcare hates Dispatching Made Easy because multiple times, this is years ago, multiple times they kept trying to get us to come on board and do onboarding with them, pay top dollar to further integrate our software platform with theirs so that we could be a certified or a credentialed logistocrat provider for their software. But we're not doing that. Nor would we ever do that, because we're never going to let a broker control us. If they make a move, we got to make a move. If they recode something, then we got to recode something. We're not going to do that, number one. Number two, I would never let anyone pickpocket me or watch what I'm doing when I own my transportation business. I'm certainly not going to let anyone do the same for our members. I'm not going to do it. It is what it is. And so I know that some people, we have people who love DME. Okay, they've been using it literally since DME first came out on the disc. And then we transitioned to the platform, like 2010, 2009. So we're talking, 22, 23 years, or 13 years ago, whatever it is. So we got people who've been with us ever since back in the day when they were with version 1 with the disc. Love them, okay? We are never going to put ourselves in a position where someone can backdoor and look at our people's info. So we got some people who love DME. Other people don't like DME because they can't integrate and download their trips from Logisticare, Modivcare, and MTM to Snap. Well, too bad. It's not going to happen. Could we make more money if we did that? We probably could. But that's not the commitment. I don't need to. That's not the commitment I got to my people and all of our hundreds of people who use it. So additionally, Modivcare called me on Friday and asked what type of software we are using. I told them that we were using Dispatching Made Easy, and that was the end of the conversation. Not sure why they are still contacting me when I told them I will not be accepting their rates. Love it, man. Love it. They just keep coming at them every opportunity. It's like, dude, you just can't catch a clue. You can't accept that someone is telling you no. Especially when this comes through and he just locks up this area here. See, I thought I put this other email in here. 1 second. I know I got it in here. I think I misplaced it. Okay, this is that. Okay, same guy. Now I just talked to him. I talked to him this afternoon before I called you, or before I made this video. I called him because, again, the guy keeps me on retainer. I take care of my peeps. It is what it is. But I had to call him because of this situation, because he's about to, literally, this business is going out of business. A lot of variables, a lot of moving parts. So I called him. I said, look, we got to do this, we got to do that. So he says, hello, Joel. I wanted to give you an update on the possible vehicle that blank will be selling, the company that's going out of business. I contacted them on Monday, and they said that they will be putting us on a list to purchase the vehicles. They also asked if I will be taking on any drivers once they close their doors. I contacted our bank and let them know the situation about blank, and our commercial banker said that they will be willing to help us with purchasing the vehicles and anything else associated with the acquisition. White Walker Advisors, pay attention to this stuff. This is good content right here, White Walker Advisors. So when you're talking to your White Walkers and your group chats and all that nonsense, this is good content. These are lessons to be learned. How would you handle this? The bank also wanted to know if I can obtain any contracts from facilities because that will help us in the financing. They also asked if we can get anything from the blank and the blank, stating the need in the community since blank will be shutting down come March 1st. So by this time, again, all the emails I sent you previously were over a period of days or a couple weeks. Now he has confirmation they're going to be closing down March 1st. So this cat is going to go from 0 to 60 overnight. I contacted Blank back today and they asked me how many vehicles will I be interested in purchasing. They said they have 22 wheelchair vehicles, and if I wanted to acquire the building as well. They also said they will have an office employee stick around and help me with the transition of acquiring their vehicles and drivers. I'm going to meet with Blank this Sunday at 12 p.m. to take a look at the vehicles and also speak with them about their drivers. And then I had to delete a bunch of sentences here. It is what it is because it's proprietary type stuff and strategy, so I had to delete a good segment. So I apologize, but it is what it is. I got to take care of my peeps. Anyways, he continues. Also, when I spoke with Blank on Monday, they said that they will be willing to reach out to their clients if I was interested in purchasing their vehicles and hiring their drivers. I am just speechless on what is on the table right now. Again, this dude already has 5 vehicles. Gonna work. We're already in the process of getting his 6th one, but now he's literally going from 0 to 60 overnight with this possibility. I know that I will be the only wheelchair stretcher company in our area, and I will be able to position ourselves firmly in the community if I was to move forward with Blank. I will talk with you soon, and I will see you at the top. Boom, rich, free. That's what I'm talking about, baby. So just with this one client provider, trying to think of when I started working with him. I mean, we go back a ways. I don't remember, but I've been working with him for a long time. And, I mean, dude is in just a sweet spot right now. Sweet spot. Sweet spot. Sweet spot. Here's an email, since we're kind of dovetail this. This is not Modivcare, but kind of dovetail this. Just so you can see difference of thinking and approach sometimes. This is from a different client provider. We have been working with a broker based out of Florida. Trip volume was about 4 or 5 trips a week. Nothing crazy, but we have been charging full price. We've been charging full price for our rates. Up until yesterday, all trips were approved and paid for. We received an email saying today's trips are canceled. They found a provider much cheaper. They did ask us to sign a contract last week, and we were waiting on a meeting to talk trip volume and pricing, but haven't signed anything yet. We really don't want to lose them. This is where things get crazy. We really don't want to lose them. You got to be willing to walk away. If you want to get ahead of the game, you got to be willing to walk away. We really don't want to lose them. And at the same time, their suggested pricing is like half of our price list. So they've been paying your full rates. This is broker 101. That's why when brokers make a promise to you, let me think of some different examples. If a broker makes a promise to you, if let's say Modivcare, formerly known as Justocrat, because they had to rebrand, change their name because their brand sucks. Let's say they lost their contract to MTM. It happens all the time. So in a key market, key area, key organization, they lose the contract. Then MTM gets it. And MTM comes in and they promise you the world. Understand crystal clear. And I'm going to demonstrate this in a minute. Understand crystal clear. MTM, another broker, they can come in and promise you the world. But understand, behind the scenes, they are actively working to get rid of you. Clearly understand that. Don't think that you got a coup de grace and you just won out like a champ because, they agreed to our rates, we got it. You are on borrowed time. They're not a fool. They know that they're actively working to bring someone in cheaper. That's why they never give you any type of guaranteed. You're guaranteed this minimum number of volume or anything remotely close to that, because they know they are actively working to backdoor you. There have literally been times when I've been in someone's office and together we've been dealing with things in their office, and we had a hearing. This happened multiple times, but this one particular one that I'm referencing right now was quite a few years ago. That we literally had to go to a hearing down at the city council. We were going to the city council. This guy paid me good money. I had to fly down there and help do this stuff. We're in his office negotiating. When we get to the hearing, it was discovered through the demand discoveries, while I'm literally in my client provider's office talking to them, talking to a broker, they're literally in the process of backdooring us. They're trying to find someone cheaper. We discovered it when we got down to city council. We had the hearing. It was just incredible, an incredible experience. It was so, I already knew it, but it was just so eye-opening, and it's just incredible. They don't care. So understand, we're meeting, we're having this contract, we're doing this. Oh, they got it. They gave us the rates we want. That's great on paper, but when they can find someone cheaper, they will. And the whole thing of, there's a place and a time to give away transportation. I wouldn't do it with brokers, but there's a place and a time to give away transportation, so you can get people to feel you, experience your service, get to know you, have interaction with you. That's cool. Okay, there's a place and a time for that, but you're not giving it away for brokers. Why don't you give it away for brokers? Look what I just shared with you about Modivcare. I don't need to. They make enough money. They're good. And I don't begrudge Modivcare anything. You're a business. Go make money. Make more money. Keep making more money. Pretty soon I'm going to end up having to buy some shares in your outfit, even though I won't. But you get my point. I'm not hating on anybody. I'm a biblical capitalist. Biblical capitalist. I'm all for making money by all means. There's a place and time to give away things for free, whether you can write it off, look at it as charity, all that kind of good stuff. But it's not for broker work. No. We're collecting that money. So we're not doing this half rate nonsense because we're trying to. And that old philosophy of, it's better to just make something. It's better to make something than nothing. No, it's not. That outdated, archaic philosophy. Oh, something's better than nothing. No, it's not. No, it's not. Not when you got labor costs being what they are. Not when you got a sleepy, creepy dementia patient and his market and his inflation, the great inflation from the sleepy, creepy dementia patient. No, it's not. I'll show you some good stuff in a minute. But no. That old philosophy of, something's better than nothing. No, it's not. Not when labor is what it is. Fuel has doubled in price. Maintenance goes up. Insurance goes up. These are all, when inflation is taxation. You just understand that. Inflation is taxation because you pay more. It is, it's an almost illegal form of taxation. Joel, I don't like your politics. Stay out of politics. Okay, don't argue with me. Argue with the numbers. So many people got buyer's remorse. Hey, you voted for this nonsense.
Forget his political views and all that. If you can get past that, man.
We're working for Brokerage. Okay, all right. So now this is another good dude. Love this dude. Worked with him for years. This cat keeps me on retainer. Love him. Great dude. Flipping funny dude. Love him. Just came up with to the communist state of New Jersey to get another vehicle. I would have loved to have met up with them, but our schedules didn't permit. Love this dude. Funny as heck. Same type of thing, dealing with different stuff, contracts, brokers, all the nonsense. So again, these are all part of bigger emails. But he writes, so I can't believe I am about to even still be talking about these fools, talking about Modivcare. But I still have my contract with Logisticrap. They gave me one trip. They give me one trip every so often, and of course, I don't take it because compared to the rates I'm getting now, it's laughable. But I actually insulting at this point. Literally, when I receive trips from Modivcare, when I receive trips from them, it's more of an inconvenience than anything. Should I terminate my contract with them or talk to them about rate increases? White Walker Advisors, what would you do? and perform. White Walker Advisors, how would you advise your White Walkers in your group chats? How would you advise them in a situation like that? He says, let me read that again. See, I don't take it because compared to the rates I'm getting now, it's laughable, but in actuality, insulting at this point. Literally, when I receive trips, it's more of an inconvenience than anything. Should I terminate my contract with them or talk to them about rate increase? And perform. White Walker Advisors, what would you do? How would you advise them? I know it's temporary. Why does he know it's temporary? Because he knows it's only a matter of time before he gets backdoored. I know it's temporary, but the plan is the same. I've made way more money in less than 2 weeks on this new contract than what I've made in a month busting my butt at a maximum force with Logisticrap. Now Modivcare, $2 billion annual revenue, a market cap of anywhere between 1.5 billion and 2.5 billion. Stock is what was it, $106 and change or something like that. 19,000 employees. He says I've made in a month busting my butt. Let's see, I've made way more money in less than 2 weeks on this new contract than what I've made in a month busting my butt at a maximum force with Logisticrap. We're talking over 32,000 in 2 weeks. Boom, boom, rich free, baby. That's a trajectory I like to see. Boom, rich free. Due to the contracts I have, my guys are practically making executive pay. He's in a unique market. This dude's in a unique market, and we are doing some unique and what I will call unorthodox strategies. I'm just going to leave it at that. Due to the contracts I have, my guys are practically making executive pay from just driving, and they are, because a rising tide lifts all boats. Hey, so it is what it is. It's boom, boom, boom. So now his guys are making more money. Again, we have a rather unique and unorthodox arrangement of what we're doing with some of his drivers, and everyone's making money. So he says, due to the contracts I have, my guys are practically making executive pay from just driving! Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Since the current drivers are getting ridiculous pay, I just brought on a new driver. I had to start at a lower pay. With all of this, we're still full intent on going into home care and purchasing another NEMT in another state. Give me your thoughts. Heading to the top with a big stick. Amen, brother. Love it. Good dude. All right. Good morning. I found a business that is for sale in another part of blank state. I do not have the funding to buy, but was wondering, should I go the route of angel investor or third-party investor? Do you know of any that is reputable that will be willing to provide the funds? This business is 3 hours away from where I live, and I am willing to move to that location. White Walker Advisors, perform. What would you say? What would you do? What kind of questions would you ask, White Walker Advisor? What would you do? Here. Go this way. Go this way. Go this way. So a lot of you guys, because like here's the deal. We'll play it straight. I used to say half, but my peeps, Team DDC always says it's more than that. They say it's more like 3/4. So let's say 3 out of 4 people who end up retaining our services have already wasted a boatload of money because they already hired a White Walker, they hired some White Walker, or they just simply used their free advice, purchased the wrong vehicles, insured it, then they backtracked, didn't make money, stupid contract, signed this, whatever. It's always a train wreck, and we play cleanup duty. And that's why I say it's like you think this thing through. Joel, you think you're all that? Look, I get it. Some people are offended by the fact that I'm a 21-year-old Olympic athlete. Now that I have climate change, I have more virtue. And I do. I have more virtue than you. In fact, watch this. I'm going to show you this. This proves that I have more virtue than you. So I started going to a new church. This is my new church right here. My new church. And this is because I've got to. Al Gore told me that if I'm gonna have any hopes or prayers of getting rid of this climate change, I've got to signal more virtue, and I have more virtue than you. So strong, biblically based church right there, big time, out of the word, straight out of the word, man. You could tell. They're signaling the virtue, and that's why I can relate to them. But anyways, ask yourself, before you spend money on purchasing, especially if you don't know what you're doing, before you follow the stupid White Walker advisors who are saying stupid things like, oh, you could start with a $5,000 vehicle. Dude, no you can't. It's a train wreck. No you can't. It's a train wreck. If your state has DOT, you're probably not going to pass DOT. If it doesn't have DOT, can you even get it insured? I guarantee you're going to be hard-pressed to find someone who will underwrite that. Or if they do insure it, man, you're going to be paying through the nose. So the whole stupid philosophy of, oh, you could start this business. Oh, I could get a $3,500 minivan. Are you flipping insane? Bigger questions are, as I've always said before, what is your exit strategy? Now, my goal, I want boom rich free. Okay, I want the business to be grown, scaled, boom, sell to multiple. Cash out, go to a different business. Go do something else. Don't be one of these guys. Oh, I've been doing this for 30 years. I've owned 3 NEMT companies. What happened to the other ones? What'd you do with them? Now look, if you sold them at a multiple each time, duplication. I'm cool with that. But if you're one of those guys, oh, well, the first one didn't work out because Ralph screwed me over. Or I could have, but when I was in high school, I tore my ACL in high school, so I could, the whole thing of everyone's supposed to go to the NFL, but they couldn't because they tore their ACL in high school. If you're one of those guys, shelf it. No one flipping cares. What's my point to this little rant? All of you who keep listening to these White Walkers and the stupid advice, the freebie advice, or you're retaining these slapdicks who haven't made money, and they need to be consultants. They need to be consultants. They need to be consultants to make money. If that's the case, run as fast as you can. You should be thinking, how am I going to sell this? How am I going to exit? How am I going to sell this business? How can you help get me to where I need to be to sell it? And then what is the process for selling? So, good morning. I found a business that is for sale in another part of the blank state. I do not have the funding to buy. But was wondering, should I go the route of angel investors? Well, should you? White Walker, should you? What's that look like? What questions should you ask? What would be the interest rate? Do you give equity ownership? What do you do, White Walkers? Or third-party investors? Do you know of any that is reputable that will be willing to provide the funds? This business is 3 hours away from where I live. I am willing to move to that location. White Walker advisors, what does an acquisition look like? What are the different percent? What is the buying procedure look like? Who's paying for what? What percentages? What are the variables? You're doing equity, asset. What are we doing? There's a lot of things there. So White Walker advisors, what are you telling your White Walkers in your group chats? People, please think this thing. The reason I say all this is because when people come to us as a blank slate and they haven't spent money yet, we love you. We love you. You're like the transportation providers I talked about earlier who I work with, who keep me on retainer, and they use me. And I love that. As a side note, as a caveat, understand this. This is a quick caveat. I know I go all over the place, but if you pay me money, use me. There's some people, they pay me money. I'm like, and I got to keep checking in with them. I'm like, you alive? What? I mean, don't make me chase you. If you just paid me money, and likewise, if you're using Team DDC, which is great, use them, love them, get a lot of the newbies. Look, I work with a lot of the acquisitions. I do a lot of the buying and selling, a lot of the strategic thing, and this is why I work with this. Everything I've already shared with you, this is strategic stuff. We're making moves. If you're a newbie trying to get in, and you got the elementary type stuff, and application, and you're trying to get the right equipment, you're trying to look the part, be the part. That's easy. My Team DDC, they can help you at an even cheaper price point. We're here to try to help as many as we can. But if you come to us as a blank slate, man, you are so much easier to work with. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Versus listening to the clowns who try to advise you on purchasing a used vehicle for $3,500, or I'm writing books between trips, or I'm making $2 million. Hold my beer. I got to go do a transport. Suckers. Sorry. This is why everyone hates me. I get it. I get it. This is why everyone at the national conventions hate me. I get that. I'm cool with that. But they'll go to these national conventions. Oh, I spoke with Ralph at Modivcare. He really took a liking to me. He really took a shine to me. I think we're going to have a great relationship. Yeah, how's all that work out? Here's some good White Walker stuff too. Coach, we've been using blank HR service for about 3 months as per a recommendation from a White Walker forum. It's $200 per month or $2,400 per year. We are literally not using them at all, and it feels like a waste. On the White Walker forum, everyone did say they'll feel like a waste until you get a few employees. Is it worth the price, or can we get around needing HR now and save the $2,400? We also use them for payroll, but bookkeeping software can handle that. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, first of all, let's talk about the immediate question of, I'm going to throw you some bones here. So this is what the White Walkers do. The White Walker advisors, and first of all, when they're giving away free software, we see it a lot with home care, but like when they're giving away free software, it's typically because they want your payroll. If they control the payroll, because hey, the more payroll they run through, they're making money. You got quarterly filings, annual filings. You're paying people once a week, if not twice a month. And multiply that by X number of employees, it adds up fast. This is why they especially love it for home care, because typically you're going to have more home care caregivers than you are NEMT drivers, regardless. So they give away their free. It's a bait and switch. It is what it is. They bait and switch. Here's this HR nonsense. Do you need it? I would look at it, it's almost like a bell curve. Do you need it? No, no, no. Then you could have a little benefit. You could have a little benefit. They could be beneficial. There's some value. But then you're going to get to a point in time where you don't. Because now your revenue and your margins are so big that it actually makes more sense to in-house it. It makes more sense to in-house it, and at that point in time, it's a tough transition. So you get to a point in time, you don't need it. Then it gets to a point in time where technically, I'm not saying you need it. You could use it. You could maybe find some value and benefit from it, but as you continue to grow and scale, you will get to a point in time where it makes more sense to in-house it. Not only in-house it, but then use the people for other tasks and other chores and other responsibilities, and you further maximize your earning potential. So are these HR, can they be beneficial? Yes and no. Do you need them? No. Are they mission critical? No. Could it be a waste? You got to do a cost analysis. Is it worth it? For you, absolutely not. Where you are, I know where this guy is. I know what the position he's in. No, absolutely not worth it. Cancel it. Stupid waste of money. This is the result of your White Walker nonsense. It is what it is. Sorry, man. Sorry, man. So, in summary, yes, there can be some value for HR services, but it's slim. It's a slim window. He asked me what percentage. I'm saying that we probably, of all the people we work with, I'm saying on a high end, 5%. On a high end, 5% of our client providers are using HR. Does that mean it's not good? I'm not saying that. Are they mission critical? Are they necessary? No, absolutely not. They're not mission critical. They're not necessary. Can you handle it in-house? Yes. At all levels, you can handle it in-house. Can you find convenience? Yes. There's a window where you can find it in convenience. Do you need it in the early stages? No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's a waste of money. Then you get to a point in time where you can use it. But once you exceed that window, now you're losing. Look at it like a bell curve. Now you're losing. It makes more sense for you to in-house that versus outsourcing. Now, one thing you should always do is always use a payroll service for sure, okay? So the HR and the payroll are not the same, even though a lot of these HR, they try to get you into the payroll because the payroll it's almost mandatory. Do not ever try to do the payroll yourself. If anything, you want that legitimate third party that if you ever get audited, whether it's through the Department of Labor, through the IRS, the state, whatever, you want to be able to pass the buck over to them. Look, they handled it, this and that. Keep your hands out of it. I've literally seen people who they don't pay their taxes, and then eventually they get audited, then the IRS comes in like the Gestapo, and we all know how the We all know how the sleepy creepy dementia patient and all these demonic rats, how they love them IRS. They love them IRS agents. All right, man. We're going long, but I'm going to go a little bit further here. I don't think we're going to get everything done, but let me show you this real quick. Here's what's awesome about this. Another thing, just another point of perspective. Here we go. What just happened? Now, a couple weeks ago, whatever. You had the sleepy creepy dementia patient. How awesome and magnanimous they are. They've done so much great things, and everybody's prospering. Yet so many of you got buyer's remorse because it doesn't match reality. Inflation is through the roof. Gas is doubled. Every single person, every single sector, every single industry, every single business is having employee-related issues, rising costs, all that stuff. Bank of America still forecasting 2023 recession. Fed action, not enough, executives warn. Bank of America forecasting 2023 recession. Fed action, not enough, executive warn. Wait a minute. Wasn't this came out the day after sleepy creepy dementia patient was out there touting how magnanimous they are. Wall Street economists say recession in 2023 will look like biggest crisis of the 1970s. Wait a minute, that just contradicts what sleepy creepy dementia patient was saying. Absolutely incredible. Why is all that important? Why do I share that? For how long have I been saying you need a good, strong, cash flowing business? You need a good, strong, cash-flowing business. Is the transportation and EMT going away? Absolutely not. $8 billion industry. Is home care going away? Nope. $55 billion industry. On its way to $100 billion. Opportunity? No doubt. You need a strong, cash-flowing business. And to further tie all these things together, you need a strong, cash-flowing business that is not going to force you like the one email where he said he wants to sign a contract for half the rates he's getting right now from a broker. You have someone like Modivcare. They make $2 billion. They're going to be able to afford milk and pay their bills in the morning. Are you? You need a strong cash flowing business. There's no, especially if we're going to have a market crash, saving your money, useless. You might as well just go out and burn it for kindling. Worthless. You need strong cash flow. All right, now listen. I'm going to transition a little bit, but this is another client provider. Love this dude. Worked with him for years too. Great dude. Same scenario. So we were building up his NEMT, doing great just recently. It wasn't Modivcare, it was Access to Care. Same type of thing. Love this dude. He doesn't do anything without first hitting my team up. He uses me. I mean, I'm almost like his administrative assistant, if you will. I've drafted so many emails and correspondence for him. He has so many different contracts and bids going on. But that's what I'm here for. I mean, this guy's paying me a good buck. That's what I'm here for. It is what it is. I'm here for my peeps. That's it. That's why all you White Walkers who keep hitting us up, this is why we don't even answer the phones, because we just don't have time. So what I'm going to share with you now. So this dude works hard. Wife is part of the business. His father helps him. Has a handful of employees, doing well. Good, all-American, hard-working family. These are the people you love. Starting his broker business. Started that up a couple months ago. He's been working with one of my guys, one of my RDs, to help him. And because he keeps me on retainer, he also hits me up with questions too, not only for NEMT but also for his broker as well. So all right, that's cool, whatever. You're my man. You pay me good money. So our media team built both websites. Built his website for his NEMT and also his broker business. So he sends me an email. Updating me on the progress. Again, this guy hits me up all the time. Love him. Doing a great job with NEMT. Hits me up with some of the initial progress of his prospecting for his new broker business. Good looking business, good website, good marketing materials, good logos, all that kind of good stuff. He sent me a great email. I'm not going to go through that because it's way long. But I sent him a response, and then he sent me a response. I'm going to kind of overlay them on each other. There's a specific reason why I'm sharing this email. lot of people ask, well, why haven't you put more videos up for your broker business, for you or the broker? Honestly, I've just been so busy. It is what it is. And also because so many times in my NEMT videos, these videos for UMTPG, I end up also talking about broker. But the reason I'm sharing this is you're going to see some great parallel. So he sends me an email sharing different feedback that he got from different retirement communities. I shared an email not too long ago regarding that ebook that literally came from early 2011 from where I interviewed Dexter. Dexter owned his NEMT business for 3 years before starting his niche moving business, where he basically enlisted my help a second time to come help him because he had to merge the two businesses together to be more efficient and effective, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That's where when I saw his books, how quickly he was making money, how much and how quickly in such a short period of time, that's what gave me the inspiration for me to start my broker business. And eventually that also transitioned into You Are the Broker. And so that was early 2011. I started my broker business in very late 2011, so really 2012 was the first calendar year. So we're talking, my broker business has been around for, 10, 12 years. And to say that we've transitioned, it doesn't even look the same. It doesn't even look the same. Do we do a lot of the same services? Yeah. We do our deliveries, we do our express moves, but we have COVID changed so many things, the supply chain issues changed so many things, the high gas prices and diesel, and then these big companies outsourcing things to us. I mean, it is crazy. Our business looks completely different. Anyway, because this client provider still, like Dexter, because this client provider still owns and operates an NEMT business, he's leveraging that as a platform to do targeted express moves for a lot of these retirement communities, nursing homes, people downsizing, moving in, things like that. So long story short, he sent me a really good email, and shared some emails in there and correspondence with different people from some of the surrounding communities, retirement communities, who expressed interest in using him to help some of their seniors as they're downsizing to move into their retirement communities, things like that. He sent me some feedback from some different people, different retailers, things like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read some of the response that I gave to him. Again, I got to blank out some of the stuff. It is what it is. The White Walkers and the White Walker advisors are vicious, so I got to be careful what I share, as well as I got to be careful some of the strategies that he's using. But there's still key concepts you could take away from here, especially because you'll see the parallel between his experience when he was first starting NEMT, and some of you have or will too, versus where he is now. So again, he sent me a great email. I'm responding, and at the same time, he responded a second time, and I'm going to interject his response with key points that I made. So I responded to him, and I started off by saying, believe it or not, but this is one of the best emails you ever sent me. Why? Because you can literally take it and overlay it on top of blank, the name of his NEMT business, and it's the same exact message. Seriously, change the name from blank, from his broker business to his NEMT business, and tell me the difference. There is none. It's all about marketing 101, whether it's broker or NEMT. This is the core message I'm giving you right now. The parallel between starting your broker business and when you're marketing your NEMT. He responds, he says, yes, I have noticed that the marketing formula is almost identical with minor adjustments depending on the industry. Going back to me, I said, how many times did you meet with people? They seem receptive, excited, and enthusiastic, and they say, thank you, we will call you, or that's great, we need this service. And then you sit by the phone waiting for the phone to ring, and it never does. It's the same exact thing with your broker business as it is NEMT. He responds. Again, he's doing well with his NEMT. But again, like anything, when you're first starting out, the hardest part is getting started. Getting your first vehicle, getting your first employee, getting your first trip, getting your first account, getting your first contract, getting your first service agreement. He responds, he says, so many times I waited, or so many times I have had meetings and never heard back or heard back at the most unexpected times. Exactly. I continued. In addition to reinforcing that you're simply facing marketing 101 issues, the best news is that your efforts illustrate and underscore exactly what we knew and want to hear, i.e., the stores are using third-party services for deliveries. The retirement communities use and refer third-party movers, etc. And so we have confirmation that they're already using providers, and we don't have to convince them of using us, a third party, because they already are. We just need to convince them to use us. So he's already had a great response and interest from a lot of different retailers and the retirement communities. And they're already expressed, not only do they express interest, they express that they're already using different people that they refer and outsource to. So we don't even, it makes it even easier because we don't need to convince them that they need anything. We don't need to convince them they have to get a new service. We don't need to convince them the value of the service. We just need to convince them to try to give us a shot, use us. He said, so true. That surely gave me confirmation that there's an actual market for this business model. Boom! How long have I been saying this for? We get people, I don't know about, will this broker business work? Boom! I literally used, how many times for you guys have been watching this a long time, how many times I share my bank statements to show you how much money we're making, or payroll statements of some of my top contractors. It's like, if that doesn't convince you, that doesn't convince you, nothing's gonna convince you. Now he has confirmation. He says, where was it? I just moved up the screen here. He says, that's true. That surely gave me confirmation that there's an actual market for this business model. Dude, now you know why I make money. Now you know why I had my NEMT business for what, 9 years? 8-9 years, and I have my broker business for what, 2012, it's just full calendar year. So what, 11 years, going on 12? Come on. But I don't know what I'm talking about. Everyone wants to hate. I'm the 21-year-old Olympic athlete. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Okay. Let's see. I continued. I said, what do you need to do in moving forward? First, just like you've done and continue to do with your NEMT business, you need to blank. And I give them a strategy. Obviously, I can't share that. Weight Walkers are vicious. The Weight Walkers and the Weight Walker Advisors, vicious. I said, again, they're already using providers, so we don't need to convince them of the process or value. We just need to convince them to give us a chance. And what have we learned from NEMT? People, facilities, staff don't like change. Ergo, it's up to us to convince them to change and further blank strategy. How many times have we talked about blank? Watching for blank and then blank. I know, it's a lot of blanks, but it is what it is. You need to keep blank and watching for the breaks. He responded, he said, what is a good strategy for keeping them? Perhaps doing it every month. Let's see. I respond, does your broker business, the name, have any history to leverage? No, none at all. But neither did your NEMT business when you were first starting. Key point right here. So does your broker business, it's new business. Does your NEMT business does your broker business have any history to leverage? No, none at all. But neither did your NEMT when you were first starting. Therefore, we need to build it, being your credibility, your history. We need to build it wherever, whenever, and however we can. He says, yes, I remember all those initial days being an unknown. Starting a business in a new industry in which no one knows you and doesn't take you seriously or even respect your presence was just an extra motivation I needed. Being a nobody all over again allows me to improve my marketing skills, which I can also apply to NEMT business as well. Think of the flipping difference. This is why I love this dude. That paragraph alone, in addition to this being one of the best emails he ever sent me, the initial one that had all these questions, that paragraph alone right there, that's frickin' warrior spirit right there. That is a frickin', I'll go balls to the wall, I'll do whatever it takes. That's all American blood right there. That's the type of stuff that I love. That paragraph right there is why I love this provider. So many people get scared or intimidated to start their NEMT business because, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to get me business? Well, you're going to have to get off your ass and go get it. Well, if I do home care, if I use home care access, you guys going to get me my clients? Well, no, you're going to have to get off your ass and go get some. Oh, well, what do you guys do for brokers? Well, I mean, what are you guys going to do for me? You going to do anything for me? What do you bring to the table? What do you bring? I love that one. That was recent. What do you guys bring to the table? Nothing. We're losers. We're losers. Look at this dude. He's not asking for anything. Give me the knowledge and the know-how. Give me the knowledge and the know-how. This isn't one of these nonsense where, hey, give me some reparations or give me fish. No. He's just saying, you don't even need to teach me how to fish. Just open up the gates and give me equal access and I'll go figure it out. That's what I love. Don't even give me a fish. Just unlock the gate, give me open access and give me equal access and I'll figure it out. That's what I love. He specifically says, yes, I remember all those initial days being an unknown, talking about his NEMT business. When you go meet with people, you go visit with them. Oh, yeah, well, we need this. We love you. Oh, is that your car? Give me your car. Okay, great. Oh, we'll call you. And phone never rings. But what do you do next? How do you force their hand? What's the play? White Walker advisors, this is why I love you White Walker advisors. You always say, oh, just call them. Tell them that you're going to send them a fax, then to make a copy of your card and send them a fax. What do you think happens with that fax? First of all, it goes right in the garbage. After they're done getting pissed off that you just wasted their ink in their fax machine. This dude is a straight up hustler. Yes, I remember all those initial days being an unknown. Starting a business in a new industry in which no one knows you and doesn't take you serious or even respect your presence. Boom! Even respect your presence. How many times did you go, oh, people get scared. Oh, I'm not good. I don't talk well to people. Then you're done. Don't even do business. No, I don't want to, but if I can't call them, but I'm busy. I'm busy in the office. You got no business because you're hiding behind your desk. No, well, I don't know if I could really do this. Maybe I should call Ralph. I'll call Ralph at Modivcare and see if he could just give me some trips. Unbelievable. Rather than build your business, go out and get your own direct pay, direct contracts. You sit there like a little hermit hiding behind your desk waiting for Modivcare to call you. They may give you one trip. They may give you 100 trips. They're going to cut your margins in half, cut your reimbursements in half. Unbelievable. Being a nobody all over again allows me the opportunity to improve. Dude. Being a nobody all over again allows me to improve my marketing skills. Dude, what about snowflakes, man? Snowflake, what do you bring to the table? What are you going to do for me? Oh, I'm not going to start a broker business. If you're not going to go out and get my clients, I don't want a broker business. Click, move on. Move on, lazy ass. Dude, being a nobody all over again allows me to improve my marketing skills. That dude's hungry. That dude's thirsty. That dude wants to sharpen his skills. I flippin' love it. Being a nobody all over again allows me to improve my marketing skills, which I can also apply to NEMT business as well. That's why I love this dude. This dude hits me up every 5 minutes. You know how many, I draft so much stuff for this dude. Love it. This is exactly why I do what I do for someone like that. First and foremost, this is me talking to him. First and foremost, when it comes to the retirement facilities, you need to blank a strategy. Why? Because your broker business, the name of it, has no history. So the only thing we have to leverage at this time is building a relationship with you. What's the synergy between an EMT business and the broker business? Bottom line, you need to, and I shared a strategy, which obviously I'm going to delete because I can't have you White Walker advisors knowing all our stuff. And then I outlined this whole verbiage thing for him, which I'm not going to share here. It is what it is. And I said the key point is to leverage anything possible at this time, focus on building the relationship and working to become relevant in any way possible. Again, I can't share the strategy I use because it is what it is. He responded to that point. He said, yes, there is a great synergy between the two companies, and I like your idea of utilizing the companies we have more credibility, where we'll have more credibility to build trust for the newer company. I am on board with blank strategy for the two companies. I said, you need to take on any work you can right now. I don't care if it comes through blank, a specific strategy, or why? Not so much because you're looking for the money, which is important, but more so you want the expertise and the testimonials. We want testimonials, endorsements to add to your site, print materials, emails. When you get those testimonials, send them over to our media team to add to your site. He said, yes, at this stage I have to take any possible avenue. I have to take any possible avenue to gain traction. Totally agree. I said, following this message, email Tom, our media guy, our lead media guy, and let him know you and I spoke about linking both sites. We want to have a marketing bridge between the two site services, so people like those at the retirement facilities can see that you're legit. The more legit we can present you, a newbie, and the respective ventures, i.e. your transportation business, the easier it is for name of your broker business. He said, I emailed Tom about possibly linking the two websites. We'll let you know what he says. I said, I think this is the final point. I said, in short, think of where your NEMT company was when you started and where you are now. And he's doing well. Cat's hustling. The same thing is going to happen with your broker business. Consider, we launched, talking about my business, we launched in late 2011. That's 12 years ago. Absolutely crazy. I can honestly say it's probably been 10 years since someone asked for blank. Why? Because who and what we are is so much bigger than the elementary nonsense. Our reputation, our relationships, and capacity speak for itself, and the same thing is going to happen to you. Again, my broker business now, people ask, why haven't you made any videos, more updated videos? Lack of time. A lot of the stuff I also discuss randomly in these videos. Honestly, take those two variables, then you mix in the pot that, dude, our business right now, do we still do deliveries? Yes. Do we still do express rooms? Yes. But we do so much other stuff now that it's just popping that sometimes it's even tough for us to keep up. I'm not gonna lie, just like everybody has labor issues, trust me, I got contractor issues. I need more. If I have more contractors now in key markets, I'd do even more. It is what it is. Everybody has them. The caveat I always tell people though, I'd rather deal with contractors than employees, because employees want to punch time clock. They want to do the 8 to 5, 9 to 5 routine. They want one foot's out the door come 5 o'clock. That contractor, yeah, you get some slap dicks once in a while, but overall, they know it's feast or famine. As in, if you don't go out there and sling that hash, you ain't going to make that cash. Let's see. I said, think about ways to, 1, get work now to get money and build the testimonials. 2, follow up with and stay relevant and in front of the people you've already connected with. And 3, further uncover new leads. It's all a numbers, networking, and relationship game, bottom line. Cast your net far and wide, the blank strategy, using the strategy I talked about earlier that I'm not going to disclose. He said, makes sense. I have been familiarizing myself with blank, but have not yet talked about the strategy for new leads. So again, I just love hardworking people, man. I love hardworking people who just own their SHIT. Where's that paragraph? I just love people who just own their SHIT. It's not someone else's fault. I couldn't. I mean, again, it doesn't matter where you are for any business. It all starts with 1. First employee, first customer, first client, first sale, first agreement, first contract, first employee, first vehicle, all that kind of good stuff. And it's the same thing for broker business. It's like you gotta, build the pressure, and it's the first one. And it's like, dude, this dude is like, he's able to leverage his experience for NEMT to further propel his broker business. Yes, I remember all those initial days being an unknown, starting a business in a new industry in which no one knows you and doesn't take you seriously or even respect your presence was just the extra motivation I needed. Being a nobody all over again allows me to improve my marketing skills. Ownership right there. Motivation. Love it. Which I can also apply to any MT business as well. Absolutely love it. You do stuff like that, there's only one thing that can happen. I see you at the top.
That's the bad news. It's going to get worse because this is the investigation part. Later comes the arrest part. Your attorneys are familiar with that.